Licensure Examination for Teachers. Subject: Assessment of Student Learning, Developmental Reading. Professional Education, for both elementary and secondary. Topic: Interpretation and Utilization of Assessment Data. Question number 1. In a frequency distribution where the scores are extremely positively skewed, most students got low scores, with a few very high outliers. Which measure of central tendency will have the highest value? A. Mean. B. Median. C. Mode. D. Range. Correct answer: A. Mean. Why A is correct? The mean is the most sensitive measure of central tendency because it uses the actual value of every score. In a positively skewed distribution, the high outliers pull the mean toward the right, higher end, making it higher than both the median and the mode. Why the wrong answers are wrong? B. Median. This is the middle score. While it is affected by skewness, it is much more stable than the mean. C. Mode. This is the most frequent score. In a positive skew, the mode remains at the peak where most students scored, the low end. D. Range. This is a measure of variability, not central tendency. Edge knowledge. Think the tail. The mean is a follower, it always follows the tail of the distribution. If the tail is on the right, positive, the mean is the highest. If the tail is on the left, negative, the mean is the lowest. Question number 2. Teacher X administers a test to 2 sections. Section A has a standard deviation, SD, of 2.5, while Section B has an SD of 7.0. What can Teacher X conclude about the scores of the 2 classes? A. Section A performed better than Section B. B. Section B is more homogeneous than Section A. C. The scores in Section B are more spread out, heterogeneous, than in Section A. D. The students in Section A are more diverse in their abilities. Correct answer: C. The scores in Section B are more spread out, heterogeneous, than in Section A. Why C is correct? Standard deviation measures the spread or dispersion of scores. A larger SD, like 7.0, means the scores are far apart from the mean, heterogeneous, while a smaller SD, like 2.5, means the scores are clustered close to the mean, homogeneous. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. SD tells you nothing about the level of performance, the mean does that, only the spread. B. And D. These are the exact opposites of the truth based on the data provided. Edge knowledge. Think consistency. Small SD equals closeness, consistency. Large SD equals distance, diversity. In the LET, homogeneous and heterogeneous are the keywords you must pair with SD. Question number 3. In a normal distribution, bell curve, approximately what percentage of student scores fall within one standard deviation, 1 SD, above and below the mean? A. 50%. B. 68%. C. 95%. D. 99%. Correct answer: B. 68%. Why B is correct? This is a fixed mathematical property of the normal curve. Approximately 68.2% of all cases fall within 1 SD of the mean, 95.4% within 2 SD, and 99.7% within 3 SD. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. 50% represents the scores above or below the mean exactly. C. And D. These represent the areas for 2 SD and 3 SD, respectively. Edge knowledge. Memorize the 6-8-9-5-9-9 rule. If a question asks about 1 SD in a normal curve, the answer is always 68%. Question number 4. A student receives a percentile rank of 85 in a national achievement test. This means that A. The student answered 85% of the items correctly. B. The student's score is 85% higher than the passing mark. C. 85% of the students who took the test scored lower than or equal to this student. D. The student is in the bottom 15% of the examinees. Correct answer: C. 85% of the students who took the test scored lower than or equal to this student. Why C is correct? A percentile rank is a norm-referenced interpretation. It tells you the percentage of the group that a specific score surpassed. An 85th percentile means you did better than 85% of the people. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. This describes a percentage score, raw score, criterion referenced, not a rank. B. Percentiles have nothing to do with the passing mark. D. An 85th percentile puts you in the top 15%, not the bottom. Edge knowledge. Think the race. If you are at the 85th percentile, you have run past 85% of the other runners. You are near the front of the pack. Question number 5. After a formative assessment, teacher Y realizes that 70% of the class failed to reach the mastery level for a specific competency. What is the most professionally responsible utilization of this data? A. Proceed to the next topic to stay on schedule with the syllabus. B. Give a harder summative test to challenge the students. C. Reteach the competency using different instructional strategies and activities. D. Report the failing students to the school principal immediately. Correct answer. C. Reteach the competency using different instructional strategies and activities. Why C is correct. The primary purpose of formative data is to inform instruction. If a majority, 70%, didn't get it, the problem is likely the instructional delivery. Reteaching with a new approach is the standard for mastery learning. Why the wrong answers are wrong. A. This is covering the book rather than teaching the students. B. This punishes students for a lack of understanding. D. Reporting is administrative, the immediate professional task is instructional adjustment. Edge knowledge. Think the feedback loop. Formative data is a stoplight. 70% failure is a red light, you cannot move forward until you fix the current stage. Question number 6. A student has a z-score of 0. What does this indicate about the student's performance relative to the class mean? A. The student failed the test. B. The student's score is exactly equal to the mean. C. The student has the lowest score in the class. D. The student's score is perfectly reliable. Correct answer. B. The student's score is exactly equal to the mean. Why B is correct. A z-score represents how many standard deviations a score is from the mean. A z-score of 0 means there is 0 distance from the mean, the score is the mean. Why the wrong answers are wrong. A z-score of 0 is actually an average performance, not a failure. C. The lowest scores would have negative z-scores, e.g., -2.0 or -3.0. D. Z-scores measure position, not reliability. Edge knowledge. Think the center. In standard scores, z equals 0 and t-score equals 50 always represent the mean. Question number 7. If a student's score falls into the third quartile, Q_3, we can conclude that the student, A, is among the top 25% of the class. B, scored higher than 75% of the class. C, scored lower than 75% of the class. D, is exactly at the median of the distribution. Correct answer. B, scored higher than 75% of the class. Why B is correct. Quartiles divide the data into 4 equal parts. Q_1, 25th percentile, Q_2, 50th percentile, median, and Q_3, 75th percentile. Being at Q_3 means you surpassed 75% of the group. Why the wrong answers are wrong. A, Q_3 is the cutoff for the top 25%, but the rank itself means you are better than 75%. C, this would be Q_1. D, this is Q_2. Edge knowledge. Think quarters. Q_1 equals 25 cents, Q_2 equals 50 cents, Q_3 equals 75 cents. Question number 8. Teacher M finds that her test has a reliability coefficient of 0.35. How should Teacher M utilize this data? A. Use the test results for high-stakes grading and promotion. B. Be very cautious about interpreting the scores, as the test is inconsistent. C. Conclude that the test is highly valid for measuring the objectives. D. Discard the results and give every student a passing mark. Correct answer. B. Be very cautious about interpreting the scores, as the test is inconsistent. Why B is correct. Reliability coefficients range from 0 to 1.0. A score of 0.35 is very low. Generally, classroom tests should be above 0.70. This means the scores are likely due to noise or error rather than actual student knowledge. Why the wrong answers are wrong. A. Low reliability makes the test unfair for high-stakes decisions. C. Reliability is a prerequisite for validity, but a low reliability coefficient actually suggests low validity. D. Professional ethics require improving the assessment, not just giving away grades. Edge knowledge. Think trust. Reliability equals trustworthiness. If the coefficient is low, you cannot trust the scores to be the same if you gave the test again tomorrow. Question number 9. Under the DEP-Ed K-12 grading system, if a student's final weighted raw score is 60, what will be the student's transmuted grade on the report card? A. 60. B. 70. C. 75. D. 80. Correct answer. C. 75. Why C is correct? In the Philippine DepEd system, the minimum passing raw score, usually 60, is transmuted to 75 on the report card. This is to ensure that the passing grade reflects the national standard of 75%. Why the wrong answers are wrong. A. Raw scores are never put directly on the report card if they are below 75. B. 70 is still a failing grade in the transmuted system. D. 80 would require a higher weighted raw score. Edge knowledge. Think the magic transition. The passing floor in the Philippine basic education system is 75. If a student passed the raw requirements, 60, their card must show at least 75. Question number 10. What is the primary purpose of providing parent-teacher conferences to discuss assessment data? A. To justify the low grades given by the teacher. B. To establish a partnership for the student's academic and personal growth. C. To fulfill a legal requirement of the Department of Education. D. To allow parents to question the validity of the test items. Correct answer. B. To establish a partnership for the student's academic and personal growth. Why B is correct? Assessment data utilization isn't just for teachers, it's for the whole support system. Sharing data with parents allows for a collaborative effort to support the child's specific needs identified by the assessment. Why the wrong answers are wrong. A. Conferences should be constructive, not defensive. C. While it is a requirement, compliance is not the purpose. D. While parents can provide feedback, the conference is about the student's progress, not an item analysis debate. Edge knowledge. Think the village. Education is a triadic relationship, teacher, student, parent. Data is the common language used to help all three work together. If this video gave you an edge, sharpen that like button and subscribe to stay ahead.